As I'm loving this one so much, I thought I might just try doing similar with the background being that dark blue. So I'm going to give that a go in a minute. G'day, welcome to Art with Alison. Now, I was really pleased with the little reverse flower dip that I just did a little while ago, and I thought that I would do what I mentioned in that video, was next time maybe do the base coat in the blue. So I'm going to give that a go. Now, last time my dogs were barking rather a lot. It was still daytime and they were a bit excited. They thought someone was here but they weren't, and they could hear noises. I don't know what it was, but so sorry about the barking. But yeah, as I said before, I do live with dogs, so that is bound to happen. But they've all been fed and they're all lying down, and hopefully will be quiet for us for while I'm doing this. If not, I'm sorry. We shall see. Anyway, so this here is a metallic white. It's actually Sonja's pearl white mixed with Floetrol, approximately 1:1 with Floetrol, 1 part Floetrol to 1 part paint. So the thing is to try and make the edge of the petal shape-ish. I mean, as you would know when you're doing flower dips, reverse flower dips, the painting that you do like now is absolutely nothing like what we end up with. But this is how we do it. So because I've already got the dark as the background, I've decided not to go with another dark colour, just to start off with this lovely pearl white. I've not done this particular way before, so we shall find out together how it works. As I said in my last video, I've got some squeeze bottles on order. It'll be so much easier doing this with squeeze bottles than on the trying to get it off the end of a popsicle stick. But yeah, they've been on order for a few weeks but still haven't arrived. I live, well, it's an hour's drive. Most of the way is 110 kilometres an hour away from the nearest big shops. So it's not something I do that often. I can avoid it, especially at the moment I've got some baby puppies, so I can't be gone for too long while I've got them to watch over. So this is Eraldo Magenta. I'll do this as the next colour. Now, what I'm trying to do is, if you think of a flower, you have, even if it's the same colour all through the petal, there'll be different darkness and lightness depending on where the light hits the petal, and usually the dark parts are the bits that are further inwards than the light bits. The light reflects more against those that are closer to you, or if not, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. That's how light and dark works. So by having the very light at the ends, it'll kind of give it a bit of edging. This will be the next sort of lightest colour that I've got that I'm doing tonight in this painting. I should try and keep it inwards from the white, because where it's touched the white it's kind of all just merged, which I don't really want to have happen at the edge of the flower. That's why with this type of painting, or possibly any type of painting really, it's all learning. It's all working out what happens when certain paints mix with other paints, and even the different brands of paints do different things. Even if it's the same colour, one brand will have one reaction and another brand will have something else. And also the mediums, like with this paint, we will mix it with, like the actual paint will then mix with what's called a medium, and in this case it's mixed with Floetrol, but some people use particular paint brand mediums, media, well, I'll say mediums, which are usually more expensive than the Floetrol, and different ones have different effects. I really like the Floetrol because it often gives you the lovely cells without adding anything. Some people use glue. The glue that most people are having success with though is Elmer's glue wall, and we can't get that very easily in Australia. It has to be imported from overseas at very great expense. Some people have had success with the Elmer's school glue. I've bought some of the Elmer's school glue and have tried it out to a small degree. So far I'm not that happy with it, but I'll give it another go. This is purple. This is Eraldo Purple. It hardly can be seen actually against the blue. Probably once it's mixed with the other colours. I'll do gold next, I think. Gold showed up beautifully in that last painting. It's hard to see it in photographs, but you can sometimes see it a little bit in the video of the gold shimmering. And then once it dries it doesn't show up as much, but then again once you've varnished it, it helps bring back that lovely shimmer. Easy doing this off the petal stick. This purple doesn't run as easily as the magenta. I probably haven't mixed it quite the same. I don't know. Alright, so this is a mixture of DecoArt golds. It's got champagne gold in there. I wasn't that keen on the champagne gold, it was a bit wishy-washy, so it's also got the splendid, it's called splendid gold, and also a bit of copper, and maybe one or two other golds. As soon as you start stirring this, it starts getting air bubbles in it again. Might just go over the top of that purple because that purple ended up so thick. Oh, this is running out nicely. If only it was all like this. I was like this is quite thick, but then the Eraldos I found when it was thick, it just didn't run at all. Until it was thinned out, and then it ends up fat on your canvas, so it's not as easy as it looks. Tell you what, you watch these videos and you go, oh gee, that looks really easy. Then you try it out. As I say, it's trial and error, and also with this try and error with your own stuff. This is what Fiona Art, who I've got most of my inspiration for doing these flower dips from. Fiona Art said one of her recent, I'm sure she said it in other ones, but one of her recent ones I was watching, she was saying how, you know, just because certain things work for her doesn't mean it'll work for someone else, especially if you're in a different country. The odds are what you're using is a bit different, even the same brands. Like even the Floetrol, I've noticed on some videos it can look quite thin, whereas what I get is thicker than what I often see on the videos. Right, so and it's got the blue in the middle, which is quite nice to give it that depth in the middle. But now I'll do another line just to give it another bit of depth. Doesn't always turn out like you're expecting, but just give something else for the middle. So you can see where that pearl hit the blue, and it's turned it quite a light blue actually. Now I'm doing that the other way around, what I meant. I don't want to have it opposite to what the flower's doing. Not that it really matters that much. At the end of the day, it all comes out how it comes out. You can only plan so much of this fluid art, and the paint takes over. Just doing this again because it seems to have sunk in a lot. See what happens too is maybe this is thicker than the other paints, and so it's sinking down underneath them. But then often when you know, once you're pulling your plastic cover away, it can reveal the colours that's underneath. So, alright, so, and then the magenta. It's too much. I do find this a lot of fun. It's very rewarding creating something. Hardly watched any TV these last few weeks since I've really got into this. I've always loved doing art, but often other things have taken precedence. But yeah, I've feeling a real passion for this fluid art. I haven't done the fluid acrylics before. Just been glued to the computer watching all these wonderful artists doing their videos and learning such a lot from it. You know, I won't do that again. Purple. And yeah, people sharing their skills and knowledge and watching what they do and how they do it, and you can learn such a lot. This internet's just so wonderful. I know I'm going to show my age, but wow. It's so much easier to learn things. Especially when you're far away from big centres. You know, you can still be learning, watching someone else do. I learn far better from watching than reading about it, or yeah, watching and doing, I think, are the best ways to learn. Watching someone else do it and then try it out yourself. Everyone has different preferred learning methods, but that's how it is for me. Squishy in the middle, but this is just a 8" by 8" canvas, or otherwise known as 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. So it's not very big. It's not tiny. A good size actually for doing the flower dips. I find I get my best results in this sort of size. Once you go a bit bigger, I don't know, that just ends up not as delicate. It's more like chunky, which I'm not so keen on. Alright, so I've done a bit of gold around the middle. Now I'll do some yellow, because there's usually yellow in the middle of a flower. Now let me think. Yeah, I think that's okay with the gold showing through there. Might in fact put a little bit more in that one there. Yeah. Might do some of that white over the top, because it has just been swallowed up, hasn't it? See how it goes. Maybe over the purple it might have a better chance. Ooh, it's a big dollop. The joy of this art is you can make dollops all over the place. And it might not make any difference. It can even improve your art sometimes. Mistakes here and there, not a big deal. It's not going to turn out how you expected anyway. Oh dear. One of my sons says, "Mum, you should sound like you know more like what you're doing." I said, "But this is fluid art. The paint decides." Do a few jiggity jaggities and blibbity blobs. I love it when it goes off the side of the canvas. But when you're doing a flower dip, when you have got bits going off the side of the canvas, you just got to make sure that your plastic, whatever you're using, plastic or paper towel or whatever it is, that it also goes over that part. I haven't had much luck with the paper towels. So that's why I am using the plastic. I believe it or not, I am environmentally aware, and I don't like using plastic where I can avoid it. I wish they'd hurry up and make similar products that are biodegradable, easily available at a reasonable price. That's another story. I reuse all my cups, wipe them out. And I know you might have seen me using a plastic straw. I actually bought those straws years ago. I've never used them. I've actually bought myself some metal straws for my own use when I go out. I do like using a straw, but in a drink when I'm out. I found this set actually that has like a giant straw, so if you want like a thick shake or something, it works for that. It's made of metal, stainless steel, and a ordinary size straw, and also a little tiny cocktail straw. So if you want a straw in your cocktail, there it is, and you're not damaging the environment. But I do have, like years ago, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, I bought a packet of straws. They just sat there doing nothing because I don't usually use them at home. And also plastic spoons. Bought them probably about, good 10 years ago. Never used them. So please forgive me when you see me using plastic things. I haven't gone out and bought them. Oh, having said that, I did go out and buy these containers because I do need them. But I'm actually thinking I might see if I can get some silicone ones. Is that what they're called? The ones people cook with, because they're nice and soft and you can squeeze them to pour from the container easily. But I reuse all these. They're great actually because you can do your paints up and you don't have to use them all at once. They've got a little lid so they keep fresh for another day's painting. Snoring as the dogs. I might just go with a bit of this other green. I'm not that keen on that pale green colour. So I do love this phthalo green. This phthalo green is a Winsor Newton colour. The last painting I got cells, and I know that I double checked it and I didn't have any silicone in. Like, I don't use silicone that often. And I got them all marked and I had on the actual container no silicone. All I can think of is maybe the petal pop stick, which had been used previously. Maybe that had some silicone on it. So to get a few larger cells. So I've made up a new batch of this, and I'll use the other one for when I want to use silicone, and got a clean petal pop stick. So it's alright to have the cells, but I prefer the delicate little ones that you get when you don't use the silicone. If you're using the Floetrol and certain paints. Nearly there. I know it takes a while. I do speed some of my videos up. but as I'm doing a lot of talking in this, maybe I'll leave the talking in. Okay, do I want to change anything else? Let me think. Wish there was more of that white showing. It's my only disappointment, especially as there's no white background. Yeah, maybe just want to have it go on top of the gold. Just recording this on my phone, and every now and then it just cuts off. No reason, there's plenty of battery still. Anyway, go and get some plastic to put over it. So I'm sticking that to the sides because the green is fallen down around the sides, so I've just got that to stick there. It's gone a bit odd down the bottom there. Try and straighten it out a bit. You want to try and get that to all just fall fall in a nice straight way, but of course excuse me, it doesn't always work out like that. Anyway, so now we need to paint on me there. Just got a bit of paint. Of course I've got paint on me. It's a badge of honour now, getting paint all over my clothes. Alright, just making sure that the plastic wrap's in contact with the paint, because that's how it works. If it's not in contact properly, then you'll end up with funny looking gaps. Don't want to squash it all out of proportion. Just want to gently tap it down. And even like with that blue background, especially where there's different things happening, like where it's gone around the edges here, just make sure where that's happened that it's in contact. I don't think the rest matters. You don't really want to be pulling all the blue paint off. Alright, excuse me, am I happy with that? Pretty sure that's all made contact. Okay, so you just want to pull up the edges a little bit to get it off the corners so it's easier to grab in a minute. And this side. Alright, now what you need to do is to make sure that the very last bit that comes off is the middle. So you basically do, it's kind of getting caught there a bit, corner to corner. Yeah, it's getting caught down the side here. Alright, corner to corner, trying to line it up so that's going to be there, because it's not dead center. It's a bit trickier. And these corners, yeah, probably should have been doing it more evenly together. this is always the scariest part and the trickiest part. I just like to give it a slightest twist as I pull it away. Oh, so far not nearly as happy with that as the last one, but yeah, we shall see. Takes a few minutes just to sort itself out and create the little cells. As you can see, these little cells, these little dots, they're starting to appear. And that can change how it looks. I might just, don't like how that, I might just try and tip it slightly. Got to be careful, there's so much paint in the middle there. I was just hoping to move some of try blowing it. Oh, covered in paint again. The joy with this sort of painting, you can always make adjustments. Not always, but you can try sometimes. Just felt there was a straight line there and I didn't like that. Going to turn it around so I can see it a bit better from other angles, see what's happening. It's easier sometimes to move it with a popsicle stick, because you try picking it with your fingers, you can just smudge all the edges. It kind of did there, I think, when I just pick it up on the bottom with the popsicle sticks. Oh yeah, it looks prettier from that angle. Still looks like a butterfly. Yeah, I think it's because it's kind of got the four out here, and then that one's just gone in a funny. I think it's because what happened was, because I left, I think it was these two corners till the end, I'd already picked this up almost all the way before I brought these two in, and so it's made it not symmetrical. Yeah, it's okay. I love the colours, but yeah, it really needs a fifth petal. I mean, this does look very pretty in here. I love all the little lacing cells it's made, and I love all these little bits. This is really lovely. I'm not so keen on that. Might just torch it. Let's see. Can I do anything else to it with a straw before I torch? Maybe if I don't know if that would work, and see if I can make this petal here less big. Let's pop a bit of that blue here. Don't want to ruin it, but there's no harm in, well, there might be harm, but I can only try. Let me think, kind of. I'll start from here actually. Take the green over a bit more. I said I wanted more of that white, and I'm filling it in, but it just looks a bit odd there, I think. Just want these other petals to be a little bit more delicate. Just seem a bit squidgy compared to, I guess, compared to that one that's so, yeah. One advantage of mixing the paints with the Floetrol is it's self-leveling, so even though I put a big dollop here, it is likely to just level out. Double check what I'm doing. What else I can do is to sort of run this popsicle stick with the blue on it through here. Just to help give more definition between the petals. Just got to watch though, because now I've got the other colours on that popsicle stick, so you don't want to then go back in and try and do the same somewhere else until you wipe that off. You can see the white underneath. Really want to blow into that. I'll use this popsicle stick to push that. I turn the popsicle stick over rather than wipe the whole thing off. Just trying to push that in a bit. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I have to think about that. Wipe that off. Didn't lift it up in time. That's all right. Right. worst that can happen is you totally ruin your painting and you start again. You just wasted a lot of paints, but yeah. If you're not happy with it, I mean, even though I've been saying, you know, just wait a few days, you might end up liking it. But if at the time you really can see something that you really want to change, I reckon go for it. So I'm just going to try and make it better or worse. But yeah, I think I'll try and elongate this petal here. Make sure he's still in the view, yeah. It's a hard one. Gold's looking so pretty there. I don't want to lose it. Oh yeah, I don't mind that. Kind of looks like it, the petal kind of, it's a bit of shape there. See what that does. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I do love the gold. Just want to make sure I get the, I don't want to be, got to get it on enough of an angle that I'm catching that the green and the blue there, but not so much that it, and don't blow so hard I go down to the canvas. It's just soft, gentle, just a little soft, gentle blowing until you get what you want, really, if you get what you want. Just want a bit of shape in that petal instead of just a big blob. Put some blue on the end of this and then drag that through there a bit. Lift it up a that. Wipe it off. Don't like how it's, just try blowing that in. Look at it from the other way up. See what I'm thinking. Too much white now, isn't there? Quite happy with the petal, but I need that green to mix in. What can I use? Maybe I'll use the petal stick from the green. Actually, I might use the other green because I prefer the other green colour than lots of that pale green. Just push that in a bit. Because when you put something into paint, pull it away, you're likely to expose what's underneath. A bit like when, if any of you out there, which I'm sure a lot of you have done balloon kisses, and you push the balloon into the paint and pull it away, and then you get all the different colours that are hiding underneath. So just be careful they don't end up exposing more of the white, basically. I might wipe that off, put that back in there. Yeah, I might just give add a torch. But, you know, it's pretty. Got some pretty little reactions on the edges. Pretty lacing. This might bring out even more. Trouble with these flower dips, it ends up very thick in the centre. So far I haven't had any crack on me. Probably because they're just little canvases, I suppose. If it was a massive great big one, it might happen. I don't know. Because what can happen is if one part of your paint dries more slowly than another part, it's a bit like mud. You've ever seen mud that's dried on top but not underneath, and then you get all the cracking on the top. So if it dries quickly on the top, but the bottom bit isn't dry or drying as fast, you can have it cracking. You can add certain things, like there's this stuff called GAC or GAC 800 by Golden. I have got some of that, and when I'm going to do some big canvases I plan on adding that to it, because that apparently helps prevent cracking. Now I haven't seen any major changes since doing the torching. Anyway, it's running out of oops a bit too. I might need to regas it. There you go, I think that's it. I'll bring you in for a close-up. So yeah, I think there's some really pretty parts to it. Love the shiny gold bits. And the delicate tendrils. Yeah, might just play around with it a little bit more. Certain parts of it I'm still not that happy with. I like the way that turned out actually. I think that looks quite effective. Almost looks 3D-ish where that gold's coming out. Alright then, catch you later. If you did enjoy watching this video, please click the like button. Okay, catch you later. Bye.